So you might see a short cat video later on after this World of Horror video at some point, but all I have to say after this is that you'll notice that the palette changed. I'm really trying to find palettes that don't burn my eyes off, but as we get our setting... Oh, that's a backstory old god combination. But, yeah, all you need to know is this is a more casual video series. I think I know what I'm going to call it, but we'll wait and see what I actually call it. So... the bigger point is that we're playing with base characters, and that's pretty much it. I might throw in some stuff here and there for PERM's sake, but aside from that, yeah, pretty much casual video slide by, unless of course I absolutely lose, because this is going to be interesting. So, as we get into Zectast Exquisite Taste Random Item Sets, Kyrie, yeah, as I said earlier, to get more on World of Horror stuff, I'm switching the palette just to at least kind of slowly work on something else. Whether it's a character, mystery, or both, we'll see. Charisma, Dexterity, second mystery, knowledge, second encounter, and then maybe Takushisan. But the more important part is that I want to take things more casual, so I can pretty much talk what I want to talk about at my leisure. By the way, it's the downtown. No, I want the police station, so illegal den it is. And we don't have prepare, so we're going to tree for funds. The old, before pre-1.0, 9.16. Am I even getting the version number right? It's been so long, even though it shouldn't be so long, as someone who has hundreds of hours, but I forget. But as we move on here, let's take a look at our mystery. So, we will be doing the 3 custom mystery, 2 base strategy strat, which is the leftmost mystery, the center, and then the rightmost. The one cadaver nuance detail here is that if I have Valentine's as one of the mysteries, then I have to look for Valentine's End, which is possible that we get something else, but we didn't. So if we don't see Valentine's End, we'll skip it, but otherwise, yeah. So we see Valentine's End, and then we have Shuttle into Akamanto Nails. This is a boss-filled run if I've ever seen one, but... yeah, we can cool down, take things casually, and hope for the best. But otherwise, all you have to see here is that I'm planning certain things, at least for this channel. I know I've said that before, so all you really need to... but at least I'm giving you fair warning before something really random may or may not come out. Not just even video games, but really video game dev. That's what I'm trying to say, video game dev. But as we get +1 strength... Ooh, shiny. But... yeah, as we get +1 strength, just know if weird things come out, they come out. I've said it before, and nothing's happened in those times, but if something happens, then I've given you fair warning. Even though we're now... oh my goodness. Sorry for the loud cough, but... yeah, even though we've been about... nearly 3 minutes in this video, and that's more than enough time for people to decide whether or not they want to keep watching and or listening to me as my chair creaks beneath me. I really need to get a new chair, but... there are more important things in life at the moment. I didn't get a weapon. It's fine to kick this enemy, but we need a weapon. We're also not getting our hearts, so sadness. Interesting to note how the palette changes here, but changes what these look like, which I'm kind of interested. But after that, though, we kick our way out and do our best. I said I was going to focus more, proceed not to focus at all. Again, this enemy isn't too harmful. It's your introduction to trying to get hearts or using the trinket. If you don't use the trinket, I've already talked about it in the videos that go over Valentine's, so all you need to know is pain awaits you. But since we're doing Valentine's, it's kind of important to talk about it. So, at this time, one last note on Valentine's is that I have released the mystery on Discord, so you don't need PERM. If you have PERM, you'll get to interact a bit more. If you don't, you do you. Otherwise, we're going to look at this illegal den to try and find a weapon. Because we're on PERM, we do get a lot more interesting item combinations, like this 5 damage meat cleaver. And we have 5 strength. It's not the best, but we'll make do with the extra strength we have. Kyrie, as you may or may not have noticed, doesn't have a lot of strength. For those who don't know World of Horror as much, for those who do, I still don't like playing as Kyrie most of the time. When you get lucky, you get lucky. When you don't, a pain looking for a weapon because her perception is 5 as well, maybe 6, let's be really lenient. Then we can at least use the army knife, but if you don't find that because you're on PERM and therefore more items come out, sadness happens. I think this is 5 doom, right? So we actually want to go left here. Am I going crazy? Might be going crazy. Anyway, part of this recording is happening at this time because I have food sitting right next to me, but it's really, really hot. And funny enough, I do like food a little bit, not lukewarm, but warmer than lukewarm, if that makes any sense. I was going to say hot, but I forgot which one is grammatically correct to say. I'm a stickler for grammar for my own writing, talking, speaking points, but even though I flounder around, yes, with speaking in general, so shuttle, Akamoto, or nails. I think shuttle, or nails and Akamoto are still worse than shuttle encounter-wise, although that bus driver does make things a lot more painful for me, but meh. So, speaking on that, yeah, I, funny enough, have taken the bus quite a few times in my lifetime in real life. Thankfully, I've never run into anything really, really strange, and those who live in places where using basically public transportation regularly is a thing, you know what I mean. Just use your imagination. And for those who don't, basically all manner of things can happen. Basically, you roll the dice and hope nothing happens. 95% of the time, nothing will happen, but it's all about that one time, right? Where something bad may happen. Or strange. You prefer strange over bad, obviously, but again, at this point, we hope for the best in this crazy, crazy world, which has been rejected by some, basically, we'll just say some professionals I've spoken to in my life, where it's like, what do you mean, Jordan? It's just your opinion. And I'm like, everyone else, I mean, you, the viewer, can say for yourself. But again, that's your, I'll even say subjective world, because I do believe that certain things in life are very subjective in a way. But that doesn't mean 2 + 2 isn't 4. But unless you're adding 2 bags of mice together, then you have more than 4. But that's philosophical and has nothing to do with real life. Like if I throw a key up into the air as I use these handcuffs. Oh, actually, no, we have Akamoto. We can't use the handcuffs here. You get the point, I think. And if you don't get the point, I'll explain further, because there's nothing else we're doing but bracing and kicking. So, yeah, certain things are subjective and objective in life, and you can't turn away from the truth. But that being said, that doesn't mean you can't dream, if we're going to say anything else. So even though we might want to go places further than space, maybe there are alternate dimensions, but I mean, there's nothing stopping you from trying. Aside from the fact that, well, I mean, you need to be able to survive in this world first. But that's a completely different thing, and that depends on each person. At this point, we're getting too philosophical, so all I'm worried about, and I'll mention this here because it is quite an interesting fact to think upon, is that a can of beans for me is about $1.50 USD. So, as much as I'd like to use my, well, that is kind of being frugal in my opinion, but basically, eating beans and rice is a diet that I'm on. But as I have to clear my throat, we do need more hearts. By the way, I could just skip the boss. There's nothing bad about it aside from the sad ending, but we'll try to challenge ourselves a bit more, you know, if RNG allows, because I've rolled 10 and 12, I think, at least once in this run. That's a blue background, by the way, but we'll trust the spirit, and, you know, luck checks are luck checks. So, 2 10s at this point. Akamoto, we need more stamina. This bottle of water won't be enough. No, we'll hold on to it for a moment. Because I've already treed twice for funds, I can't tree anymore for stamina. I don't really want to rest either, but when things force me to just take damage, stamina damage specifically, shrug, right? So the only other thing to mention meta-wise on this channel, for now, that I've remembered is that I may be throwing something on itch.io. It will be completely free because I am going to be testing out, but again, as I mentioned in recent videos, I want to get back into the bigger cycle of having something released and basically maintaining it, which is not something I've been doing lately because I've been focusing on just game dev, and as I mentioned recently as well, I had to swerve, so we need more stamina than this. We do have regeneration. It's for stamina 2 reason. Yeah, you know what? That'll do. Hopefully we can use these handcuffs. I might look for a heart in the middle. Okay, never mind. It's a ghost encounter. So we're going to trinket anyway. We're hoping it asks for a lot of reason. And then we can just sever this ghost, hopefully. It's a bit iffy. We can still thankfully take -1 reason damage. Thank you, creator. But we'll do our best. Again, I've been told about damage increases or lack of increases before with custom enemies. I mean, it is whatever it is. You do want, I mean, on Harbinger difficulty, I'll take the few enemies that have -1, or yeah, that only do 1 damage to either stamina, reason, or doom. But the whole point is that you're taking extra damage. That's why we play on harder difficulties, to challenge ourselves. Now, Is it too much of a challenge? That's a completely different question. But let's see here. Meat cleaver 8, right? This is a real 8? No, it's 16. This should be enough. I don't have any other recourse if I miss this. Okay, good, it is. And yeah, we are in Zektas, so we are on Zektas, so I need to equip this. Oh, I want to equip this mask immediately to avoid any more stat decreases because man, it hurts. But the other side of that is I need 2 more hearts for Valentine's End, so into Shuttle we go, which is our 4th mystery. Probably gonna try to use the trinket during the bus driver, but otherwise, I mean, again, I don't need to get ending A. There's not really any good reason to, but that might be the first time I've seen that event. But anywho, on a completely random note, although it's not completely random, the Jaguar palette is quite striking when I look at certain pieces of artwork, but at the same time, it's not, I promise you, I think at least 80 to 85% of the other palettes are just blinding to the eyes. Although that is a very, very interesting design color for the NPC's shirt. Anyway, we fail a charisma check because I probably should have taken knowledge instead, but shrug, right? And we do need the hearts, so yeah, I guess we'll find out. But if I can at least get 2 hearts, I would feel a lot better into going into the thingy. We'll stay awake because I think that, yeah, that'll try to push us towards the boss fight. So show the ticket. Hey, we succeeded. And we're gonna ask so that we can actually fight and get more hearts. So thankfully, we got one immediately. I think that's what it means. So, a really quick thing as well is that the text does kind of clue you into how many times it took for you to get a heart from your last success. So, if it digs into the enemy and fails, that's the first failure. And then when you thrust the trinket at an enemy, that's a success on your second attempt. That's important because just in case you forget for some reason which success you're at, if you fail or succeed in a certain way, you'll know where you are at. Now, obviously, succeeding means you've gotten a heart anyway, but the point is that you can track where you are across encounters. This is also a 38 HP ticket inspector, I just realized, so this is going to be interesting. We can take the reason damage to the face with memory extract. The real question is how much damage am I going to be taking in total? So I think we're actually going to throw this empty bottle. And right after that, do I want to gamble 50-50? It's 50-50. This would allow me to get out 85-85. We're gonna gamble the farm on this. I mean, it's a normal video. I mean, I could actually memory extract. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna option select memory extract. Okay, good. If I did not defeat the enemy and I saw that I missed, I would have used memory extract again, which allows me to survive. So just your little fun things here and there. We got another regeneration, by the way. And we actually lost bats, so you know what? Efficient empty bottle use. You can still be more efficient, or you can gamble into efficiency by keeping it, by running into an event in which you fill the empty bottle with sludge, but I wouldn't gamble on that, basically. So let's hear Yosuke out, because we're not going to be penalized for listening. However, I think helping him out is, yeah, +1 reason, so we're gonna do so. And we're gonna hope for the best. I need to remember to take all 4 hearts out, because if I forget, I'm gonna be really, really sad. So, this is stamina. If I fail, if we succeed, it's +2 stamina. I think that's because I have PERM active. If PERM is not active, it'll show that you get +2 stamina, but shrug, right? Anyway, I just realized, I think we have enough, we have enough Doom to survive Zektast, so just making sure we have enough hearts. And self-therapy, just in case we need the reason. We probably won't, but just in case we need the reason. Although keeping memory extract and regeneration open, just a really quick, I guess, World of Horror advice, especially if you're not on Harbinger of Doom difficulty. Regeneration memory extract is a very good combination. Oftentimes you won't actually need the experience, especially once you get, say, if you're Aiko and you get Fast Swimmer, if you're, I was going to say Koji, if you're Haru and get Core Strength, if you're Koji and get Improvise and you run into Dullness, then having these 2 spells in tandem, Regeneration and Memory Extract, is quite a good combination to have, so you pretty much won't lose the run, basically. If you're on an Ath run, as I am not, I thought I was for some reason, then shrug, right? Also, why am I penalized? This is a little, I guess, pet peeve. I accidentally opened something off on the side, but And it's not like, again, it's not negative criticism, and there should be some events that do that, but if you have a requirement, like a perk requirement, I think there's a second site, right? No, Ghost Connection. Or it could be one of the two, I don't even remember. But if you penalize the player for picking a choice in which they went through the trouble of getting a requirement, we're just not going to pick it anymore, unless, like, we lose 5 all in any of the other choices. I sound really heated because I am, but... I just won't choose that option. It's 20 experience, yeah, 3 reason, but I don't often like taking damage anyway. Sometimes, I've probably said before that taking 3 reason or stamina is worth 20 experience, but in this case, I didn't need it anymore, so shrug. And to rewind back to the beginning of the forest, I just realized I did not grab the hearts. I guess we're gonna run. But, man, that makes me really sad. Well, hey. Nothing bad happens. We get Cleansing Ritual as well. 2-4. I think this was actually the specific spell that was bugged, by the way. -2 or 4 to 4 stamina, or -2 to 4 reason. Remove a curse. You know what? That's actually quite good. It's not always going to be... It's like 50-50. The 50-50 is, hey, you have branded at the beginning of the run. Take -2 all. You don't lose 7 doom. Considering that when you rest, I'm going to use rest again as the kind of placeholder here. I don't know why we specifically chose rest. I guess it's because it's one of the main sources of recovering stamina and reason that's usually readily available. And that costs doom, whereas some characters do use doom, like Toshiaki, if you even do that, but that's a different situation in general. But as we just rest a whole bunch here, yeah, that's kind of the placeholder we use. So if you lose 7 doom from branded and you only use even the 4 all, because let's assume that you lose 4 stamina and 4 reason. Let's actually just do it here just to show. So hey, we lost -2, but if we had branded, we might have lost like upwards, let's even say minimum 6 doom. It's worth the rest. It's better than a rest, because if you rest twice for 6 doom, you heal 4 stamina for a reason. That's all I have to say. We took Nails second. And yeah, back on the topic of choices and events, like if I take Second Sight, which is a good perk anyway, so I guess it's kind of forgivable, but I pick a choice that uses Second Sight and I lose like 4-3 reason, 4-3 stamina for it, I'm not going to be happy. Now that depends. I'm actually going to look at that event and see what the other choices are. If I only lose 1 reason and nothing happens, I'm going to take that. Oh no, boo-hoo! 20 experience, except, well, I mean, yeah, I could level up, but at this point, what I was trying to say earlier, and I was probably cut off, is that I'm okay being at level 4, and it's not like Kyrie has any amazing perks anyway, so I don't really care. I could use Thread of Fate here to be kind of cool, but we don't need to. So we'll just throw the Meat Cleaver, end that encounter, and be off on our way. This was actually quite a nice run, despite the fact that I grinded for 4 hearts, but you get the point. No end screen here, because this is kind of the transition to more casual and maybe occasional permanently perm. So at this point, the last thing to mention is permanently perm. That series is pretty much going to go over anything that I have basically work in progress for custom content for World of Horror. Take a breath. And then this series, whatever I'm going to call it, is gonna be kind of the more casual. Hey, I want to play with the custom character. Maybe a new custom character came out. Maybe I want to make a custom item or backstory of my own. Here you go. And yeah, I'm shrugging in real life as I say that's pretty much it. Although that should probably go in permanently perm if I make like a backstory or an old god. But yeah, you get the point. We've got more stuff to do, and we're waiting on the announcement, yes, from the official World of Horror news, but for official World of Horror news, not from. And yeah, not much else to say. If you have anything to say, if you want to support me, you know what to do. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!